Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2026 Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau here on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Our final Class 3A quarterfinal of the day set to get going, and boy, is it a good one. It is. The Ankeny Centennial Jaguars taking on the Ankeny Hawks. Ankeny 11-5-1. Ankeny Centennial 15-2-1 on the season. Blake Walker, Thomas Campbell along with you here. There is nothing better than a crosstown rivalry matchup. There's also nothing better than a rivalry crosstown matchup at the state tournament. Thomas, we're treated to that just today.
Yeah, very excited for this one. I think it should be just an absolutely phenomenal game. You know, these two teams are familiar with each other, and I think those always bring out the best games. You know, a lot of these girls will not only know each other from playing against each other, they'll know each other from playing together, whether it's in club ball, outside of the school, but, you know, this should be a very good matchup.
Let's take a look at the road to state for both these two teams and how they got here. Ankeny Centennial took care of business against Cedar Rapids Prairie. These two teams obviously being crosstown rivals. They play each other every single year. Ankeny Centennial won back on April 23rd, 1-0. Madeline Postma going to be one to watch. She has obviously been so talented. She tore ACL last fall, and she's already back playing. She's a blast to watch. On the other side for Ankeny, they defeated Cedar Rapids Kennedy 3-1. They are 4-5-1 record against state qualifiers, so they've been through the gauntlet this season. Ava Paoli going to be one to watch as well. All time since the matchup started rolling back in 2013 or 2014, Ankeny Centennial has beaten Ankeny 10 times. Only twice Ankeny has come away a winner. I'm sure they'd love to do it today. Key factors for both these two teams, obviously they're so familiar with each other, Thomas. A lot of these girls play on the same club. That just really doesn't happen a lot here at the state tournament.
Yeah, and I think the key factor when you're playing a team that, A, you've already played, and B, that you're just incredibly familiar with, is keep your nerve. You know, emotions are going to be running very, very high, especially at the start of this game. You know, they've definitely had this one circled since the bracket came out, and being able to keep your nerve early in the game and make it through. And you know, we'll have those water breaks, and I think those are to the benefit of both teams when it comes to knowing you just have to play in 10-minute segments, then you get a little break. But if either team can, or if both teams can keep their nerve, this will be a solid game. And that's what I'm predicting. I think, you know, the CIML is truly a gauntlet, and they've both been through it, and they're both ready to be here, I think.
So there was slight miscommunication. So Paige Hartz, the goalkeeper for Ankeny, not walking out with the team. Something was up with her socks. I don't quite know what the issue was. Maybe, Thomas, you would know. She was wearing black socks. It's not like the color matters. They said it could be white, but, like, I don't really know what the issue was.
Generally, the refs prefer if the socks are a different color. So I think that could be it, where, you know, wearing black socks that's the same color as Centennial's wearing. So looks like they might just be making her put on maroon socks.
The non-starters for Ankeny Centennial. Number 2, Piper Zeman. Number 4, Sailor Horsley. Number 6, Rana Denhartog. Number 9, Natalie Addison Duller. Number 10, Gabrielle Berger. Number 18, Rebecca Flick. And number 24, Kaylin Jackson. Now let's meet the starters for Hawkettes. Number 1, Paige Hartz. Number 2, Isabella Sullivan. Number 4, Sophia Kepler. Number 6, Ava Paoli. Number 7, Abby Steinkamp. Number 12, Kirsten Peterson. Number 13, Isabel Squires. Number 24, Kyla Shotbell. Number 25, Allison Hawkins. Number 26, Sydney Van Howling. And number 29, Avery Taylor. Head coach for Ankeny is Gavin Mason. He's assisted by Cambry Mason, Rennie Frederick, and Hannah Brown. Now let's meet the starters for the Ankeny Centennial Jaguars. Number 3, Jaden Jackson. Number 5, McKenna Gray. Number 8, Hadley Bergen. Number 11, Josie Ellinger. Number 12, Emery Becker. Number 13, Dale Fazzetti. Number 15, Madeline Postma. Number 20, Emily Carter. Number 22, Grace Hoskovich. Number 23, Abby Boyle. And number 99, Riley Litchfield. The head coach of the Jaguars is Chris Allen. He's assisted by Naomi Lopez, Danielle Jackson, and Noah Schmelzer. The officials for today's match: Cassidy Moulton is the referee. Assistant referees are Ernesto Garcia, Matt Wolf, and the fourth official today is Robert Reason. Congratulations and good luck to both teams today. Let's get ready to play some championship soccer.
We are all set to go for this all CIML Class 3A quarterfinal. Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial set to go. The 3-6 matchup ready to roll here at the state soccer tournament. Current temperature, 90. Probably feels like 100. It feels like 92, apparently. I don't know about that one, but it is hot. Winds are out of the south, though, at 11 miles per hour. That's going to cool things off. We are in a heat advisory here tonight till at least 9 o'clock, so that means we will have a break every 10 minutes for hydration for both these two teams, just trying to keep everybody cool as we get set to go. Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial, the winner will take on the winner of Valley and Linmar. I believe Valley is currently up, I think, 2-0 in the early portions. And it did look like a sock issue for Paige Hartz, so I think she has changed to maroon socks. Correct.
Yeah, I think it's just generally preferred that socks are different colors for both teams, and with Centennial wearing black, Hertz had to change.
So there we go. There's the communication there for how it works. And we'll get set to go for 40 minutes here in the first half. Ankeny Centennial is going to be in black. They're headed to the right side of your screen. Ankeny is going to be in white, headed to the left side of your screen. Centennial just 13 years old as a program. Time flies, though. I tell you what, my goodness. These are two teams that have won 7 championships combined since 2010. Ankeny's got 4 of them. Centennial has 3 of them.
I think the interesting part about that is Ankeny with 4, despite having, in the head-to-head, not been up to the match of Ankeny Centennial.
10-2. They're 10-2-1, or 10-2-2, I'm pretty sure, all time against Ankeny Centennial. So here we go. We are rolling, and it looks like, dating back into the history books, only once have these two teams played at the state tournament. That was back in 2018. And Ankeny Centennial won 3-2. The Jags are off to a hot start here. Paige Hartz, the goalkeeper, is going to come up and make the play for Ankeny.
And Centennial produces, they produced over 100 more shots on the year than Ankeny did. Now, only amounts to around 50 shots on net, but, you know, still, they're a very attacking team. They're going to get forward well today.
Jaguars' only regular season losses were to top-ranked Waukee Northwest and second-ranked West Des Moines Valley. Riley Litchfield over there takes quite the tumble, but is able to hop onto the ball. Centennial led by Coach Chris Allen, who, if he wins today, 300 career wins as a head coach.
Well, it'd be quite the day to do it against a very heated rivalry. You know, always fun when these schools play in any sport, but especially fun to see them play here in the state tournament.
Again, the wind coming out of the south, so it benefits Ankeny here in this first half, but Centennial not letting it deter them. Here's Emily Conger, tries to center. There's the header. That just misses. It'll go out of the back, and it will be a goal kick here for Ankeny.
Yeah, and a really good attempt there, just wide. But Centennial doing a really good job of getting to the flanks and being able to play the ball in early.
Now, bear with us. Ankeny Centennial does not have numbers on the front of the jerseys, so it might be a little tougher to figure out who's who here as the game goes on. But we'll get it figured out as we go. Good crowd on hand, as expected, for both Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. A yellow crowd for Ankeny, a little bit of white and cream color for Centennial. Looks like that's what their state shirts are. This one's going to roll out.
You know, maybe not a Centennial color, but that's a good color for the heat.
Absolutely. I see 4 people sitting up front over there, but they have umbrellas on their legs. They're smart. They don't want their legs to burn.
Yeah.
They can deal with the heat. They just don't want their legs to burn. Free kick by Evie Boyle. And now Centennial also just keeping the pressure up. Here's a shot that fires to the right, headed out by Ankeny. Now here come the Hawks, trying to push one up. Avery Taylor, one of the captains of this team for Ankeny, moves it up the pitch. And now Centennial turns to defense and swings this thing back to Riley Litchfield.
I think Centennial plays such an attacking style of play. I think if you're Ankeny, you're really going to want to be able to hit on the break in this game.
So by hit on the break, for those that don't know, kind of explain that.
Yeah, so Ankeny's Centennial is going to keep throwing players up when they're on the attack, and they're going to do that all game. They've already shown it. So if you're Ankeny, what you're going to want to do, it's basically a counterattack, but you have to be able to take advantages of those. You know, get numbers forward, make sure that you have a numbers up advantage when you're headed towards the net because of how many players Centennial is throwing forward.
Physical play right there in the middle. Now Ankeny Centennial trying to keep things moving. Nice strong takeaway that time by Allison Hawkins. Black and white jerseys swarming here in the early portions as now Centennial tries to go back the other way. There's a little bit of a whiff by Sydney Van Howling. Good boot back up the way by Grace Poskovich. Taylor bounces this one short, up ahead to Ava Paoli. One of the leading goal scorers this season for Ankeny. Paoli will just fire to the right and misses. Really didn't have any turn on it, but she made it work. You got Coach Chris Allen on one side for Ankeny Centennial, who has just been, you know, one of the staples of state soccer here in the state of Iowa. And then on the other side, you got Gavin Mason, who is in his first state tournament appearance. This is his first season with the team, and he's here in this position. I mean, that's got to be a pretty big deal for him and his family, and then obviously the success that he's had in year one.
Yeah, I think any coach that is able to make the state tournament in year one, that's just such a big accomplishment because you're taking over a group of players that you're not super familiar with, and if you can get them to gel and buy into what you want, it's a really good accomplishment, and obviously a very tough matchup. Having to play one of the most experienced coaches in the state.
And it's not like Ankeny has been bad. This is their 9th consecutive tournament appearance here at the state soccer tournament. 16th overall. So they know how to get things rolling, and they know how to have success. Obviously, 4 state championships to their name, and they've all come since 2010. 2011, 2013, 2015, and 2019. Centennials have come in 16, 18, and 22. Here comes Madeline Postma on the run out. We'll fire this one to the left and just misses outside. Paige Hart's having to move just a little bit. Take a look at the replay here. You like the shot?
No, I think it was a pretty good attempt. You know, I'm always one that if you think you've got it, fire from distance. Put some pressure on the goalkeeper. I think, you know, too often in the amateur game, players are they're more afraid to shoot. They've got to be in the perfect position. So I'm never against someone, you know, just taking their opportunity when you have a open lane towards the net, no matter really how far out it is, unless it's truly like a 30-yard shot.
Jaden Jackson, the talented freshman there for Ankeny Centennial in black, trying to get moving down the field. got caught up. Good defense there by Ankeny. Now here comes Centennial trying to move it ahead. Postma chasing after it. Kirsten Peterson hits the turf, and we're going to have a foul on Postma.
Yeah, probably the right call there, just a little too physical. You know, you never really want to give up fouls like that in the opposition's half.
So Ankeny will set this one and get ready for a free kick. Sophia Kephart, the junior, will send this one back the other way. Header will bounce. Who's it going to go to? Centennial ball. Coming back the other way. Centennial picks up a win over Cedar Falls in the first round of the regional to get here, and then obviously defeated Cedar Rapids Prairie. Ankeny took care of Marshalltown 11-1, and then beat Cedar Rapids Kennedy. Ankeny dropped the season ending, or the regular season loss to end the season to Dallas Center Grimes, one of the top teams down in Class 2A, 1-0. Also a loss to Waukee and Waverly Shellrock during the season, along with Valley.
Yeah, and I really like that Ankeny played DCG. DCG, obviously the defending state champions down in 2A, and you know that if you're scheduling them, they're going to give you a challenge. I think that's a really good game if you're Ankeny to kind of prep for what playing in a state tournament will be like.
And worth noting, one of Ankeny's ties is Waukee Northwest. Waukee Northwest hasn't lost a game this year. They've only tied 3 times, so Centennial will line up here for a throw-in. Long wind-up for a throw-in, mind you. Jaden Jackson off behind her, and Paige Hartz trying to go after it. Madeline Postma may have taken a little bit of a flopping.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there. I don't think you're ever going to get that on the goalkeeper. You know, maybe if that was a defender, you might get that. But generally, that's the goalkeeper's ball to go for, and I think, you know, there was some contact. The ball jumbled around a little bit, but it's not like in the prior game where you saw a pretty definitive penalty and trip.
Right. Nothing egregious. Centennial trying to go back the other way. Boy, what a throw on that far touch line. There's an art to that, is there not?
There is, especially with the rules. You know, you can't lift your leg, which is like, it's just a very natural when you're throwing. You know, you watch quarterbacks, you watch pitchers, you watch really anybody throwing, they're going to plant, and then they're going to lift their leg on their follow-through. And you can't do that in soccer. So definitely an art to get in the overhead throw to go that far.
That one goes out of the back of the goal line, so that means it will be a goal kick. Ankeny Centennial, and Ankeny still knotted at 0 as we close in on 10 minutes gone by. There's your whistle, and it will be a short break for hydration for both these teams in these 90-degree temperatures. We'll take a break. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Back here at the Lead Recreational Complex here on the campus of Iowa State University in Ames, Iowa. Blake Walker, Thomas Campbell with you here for this Class 3A quarterfinal. Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Still no score between these two crosstown rivals. Just made the quick jaunt up I-35. Hope they didn't deal with road construction on their way up.
Oh, I think it'd be impossible not to deal with some of that construction between
or any
Ankeny
slow
and Ames.
traffic jam on I-35.
You know, traffic wasn't too bad getting up here.
No,
this morning,
not bad.
but
I came up through Madrid. I'm in Grimes, so not too bad. Centennial trying to get moving here on offense. I'd say the offensive possessions have been on their side for the most part.
absolutely, they've definitely been the more attacking team. That's really been their game all season. And not a great place to give up a foul there if you're
that's
Ankeny.
Foul on Kirsten Peterson is the one that gets called for it, so that gives a chance for Evie Boyle.
Probably a little outside the range of a shot with the wind against you here.
She's headed to Southwest Minnesota State to play soccer. I like all the very normal, like, small soccer tattoos that every player's got on. This one skies up ahead and rolls in. Centennial is on the board first. I have no idea who it was because I don't even know if it was really kicked in. I think it kind of bounced off a body and went in.
Yeah, Paige Hartz came out to clear it, and I think she thought that she got knocked down before the ball reached there.
Oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to tell here. It's hard to say. I really don't. I am not for certain who was the one that scored.
Yeah, it was definitely close. I don't think it was an own goal, though. I do think it
No,
went
no,
off
I
of-
think there was a, but I don't, it definitely wasn't kicked in. It was literally almost knocked in maybe with a hip or something. But nonetheless, Ankeny Centennial has a goal.
It was knocked it off someone's hip.
Yeah, so someone's hip got it. We have no idea whose hip it was. Again, jersey numbers are just on the back, so it's a little bit harder to see. But whoever it was, it's a goal.
Good way to get on the scoreboard there, too. Centennial's been pushing the entire first 10 minutes of this game, and you know, now if you're Ankeny, you have to respond, and the Ankeny very capable of responding.
Yeah. Trying to flip the script here, get a little bit of offense rolling on their own. They just announced who it was, I think. 18 is what the call is. It is Rebecca Flick is the one credited with the goal. That is Rebecca's fourth goal of the season. So a little bit of positive momentum here for the Jaguars, and now Ankeny going to try to respond here.
I like the early pressure that Ankeny's putting on Centennial after giving up the goal. You know, Centennial's still going to try to break through that line, but Ankeny's not letting them out easy.
You might notice Ava Paoli, she's here on this near side, number 6. She had a hand-wrist injury of some sort earlier in the season. I called this game back on April 23rd. It's better than it was. She had a whole club on her hand. Usually if you've watched football, an offensive lineman, defensive lineman will have this huge club on their hand. You can't even see their hand. And I think a couple of the officials kind of had to tell her when she had it, like, hey, you kind of have a thing of concrete on your hand. Be careful where you're swinging that. Now it's down to a little bit of a cast still, but definitely not the club that she's had all season. Here's Peterson trying to work her way to the middle, and a foul is called on Evie Boyle. This is not a bad spot for a free kick here with the wind.
No, not at all. And I do think I would expect to see a shot here because of the wind, and I think, you know, you're at a distance here where the ball is going to be able to dip just a little bit after you send it over that wall.
That official just used like a mini sprayer of water to show where they should line up.
It's the foam.
There you go. Kick on the way, off the top of the crossbar for Sydney Van Howling. Off the rebound, nothing there. And Centennial holds firm.
And a really good attempt there, and credit to Litchfield getting right back up, being ready for that second attempt.
Well done.
Near side ball, now Centennial trying to push back to the middle. Nice clear out momentarily by Allison Hawkins. Here is Paoli, like I talked about. And Avery Taylor. That one a little too far out in front of Isabel Squires. And this one's going to roll out. Here's a look at the replay, Thomas, of that last chance for Sydney Van Howling. Again, just barely going to miss this thing up north.
Yeah, just one that didn't seem to find that dip, and that could be the wind keeping it up there. But
and a lot of credit to Litchfield, who hit the ground thinking that she was maybe going to get a piece of it, to then get back up and get the rebound shot.
Yeah, I do think Litchfield had that covered. She was right up there, and I think had that dip, she would have been there for it.
Ball will be stopped in play, and is it another good free kick opportunity here for Ankeny?
It is. I don't know if this one's close enough for a shot, maybe with the wind, but I would fully expect this one to be lofted in and run onto by another Hawk.
They're going to let Van Howling do it again here. She'll let this one line itself up. Again, a longer ways out, so we'll see if Van Howling's got anything in it. It's another low liner, and Riley Litchfield lets it drop at the knees. Gives a little bit of a body check to Ava Paoli, and we play on. Piper Zeman with it here for Centennial, working her way up the pitch. Now sends it up over to the other side to Rebecca Flick. Contact, no call, as everybody trying to go after the ball.
Really good tackle there.
Zeman working, trying to turn her way around. Seeing if she can have help from behind on a center. Now up over to the middle, shot on goal, just misses to the right. Emery Becker, the senior captain, just couldn't quite get it to go.
Yeah, a really good attempt there. Centennial keeping the pressure on. Searching for that second. You definitely like to grab an insurance goal after the attempts that Ankeny has created.
Grace Poskovich is into the match for Centennial, along with Madeline Postman. IMT Insurance Substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. All substitutions here at the state tournament brought to you by our friends over at IMT. Got a foul here on Centennial, so it's Ankeny ball on the free kick. This one booted high in the air and into the stands. Nice little mix. You get temporary seating, you get the lawn chair seating. I personally would choose the lawn chair seating because it's not on hot metal.
Yeah, I'd imagine those bleachers are,
I cannot imagine.
Maybe hyperbolic to say 1,000 degrees, but
it's like when you're a kid and you go down those metal slides.
Those were the worst.
Good luck. Centennial on the push. Picked up, though, by Kylie Schapfeld. Back and forth we go in the middle here. Everybody kind of looking for a true advantage here. Here's Peterson with it. Sends it over to Abby Stedich. Again, breaks every 10 minutes, so another break coming up in about 3 minutes here. A chance for both teams to reset just a little bit. As the breaks aren't very long, it's only 2 to 3 minutes. But enough that a coach can talk with his team.
You can talk with your team, you can get some substitutions in and get some rest, I think, are the important parts of these breaks.
Near side ball, Gabrielle Berger. Trying to fight for it here on this near side with a couple of Hawkettes in the vicinity. Is going to have a stoppage here. Official talking with Madeline Postma. And another free kick for Ankeny. This ball dropped down in the middle, now backwards. Ankeny has had their fair share of healthy shot on goal attempts. Just Centennial's defense staying up to date, and then Riley Litchfield has been really solid here for the Jags.
Yes, she has, and I think Ankeny, if they're going to stay in this game, they've got to keep creating in the way that they have. And, you know, Centennial, since that goal, hasn't been on the attack too many times.
Jaden Jackson checks in for Centennial along with Kaylee Pizzetti. Pizzetti, just a freshman. Jackson, just a sophomore. Still a lot of young talent on this Centennial team. Ball continuing to tiptoe that far touchline. In and out it goes. This is the toughest game of the day simply because of the time of day. Temperature is the hottest they're going to be all day in the next hour.
Yeah, and that heat plus playing on some pretty thick grass, you know, not a surface that these girls are going to be used to, sharing the same turf. It's just going to be a little slower and a little more sticky out there.
Ball sent back up the way. Ava Paoli has 1 on 3. Can she get through? She hits the turf. No call. They play on.
Cries for penalty there from both the coaching staff and the supporters of the Hawks, and I think they might be valid. I'm not sure that I saw contact with the ball there.
Paoli was a 1 on 3 opportunity and just kind of hit the turf. The Ankeny crowd obviously right in front of them. Thought different, we play on. Nice short little kick that time by Josie Ellinger. And stoppage is called. Head coach Gavin Mason trying to have a talk with the official. I don't know why we didn't stop for hydration there, but that's in the back of everyone's mind right now. Nobody's thinking about that right now.
You know, down below 20 minutes. Probably should have had the stoppage there.
And I felt like it was a decent spot for a stoppage. Obviously, they're not trying to call a stoppage when a team is in a progression or trying to get the offense rolling. But Centennial's moving here. Grace Poskovich moves it upfield. Here's to Pizzetti. Pizzetti fires over the top of Hartz. Did it go in? She somehow saved it.
That is the question. They have antennas. There's going to be talk with the linesman.
I could have swore that went in.
It was very, very close.
I mean,
hard to tell from our angle whether the ball did. It has to fully cross the line, and that's going to be the question here for the officials.
Hartz kind of just slapped it out of the way.
They are going to take their hydration break.
Here's a look at the replay. Again, it's going to be hard to see for us at least here, but I mean, it's hard to see, but it
close.
Sure looks, I mean, from that perspective, it looks like it went in. But do we have an official word? I don't think we do
and
yet.
The real question here is going to be whether she was able to pull that back before going into the net herself.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll listen in. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Channel Seed's corner kick coming up, and as you can see, the score has not changed. 1-0 is our score. It was ruled no goal. I don't know if it was really, I don't know if many of the officials even had the best look, so when in doubt.
Yeah, had a conversation
Yep.
with the linesman during the break, and he said he did not think that it crossed the line, and so when in doubt, you do err on the side of the defenders.
So no goal, and now it's a corner kick opportunity for Centennial. Kick on the way, low liner punched out. Nicely done by Paige Hartz. Rebecca Flick, the lone goal scorer so far, and it was really just kind of a hip check into the goal. A game that has been physical, it's been aggressive. We expect nothing less from these two rivals, who for the second time in the rivalry's history are meeting here at the state tournament. A lot on the line for these two. Winner takes on the winner of Valley and Linmar. Ava Paoli trying to go on the run, but well covered up that time by one of the captains, McKenna Gray, out of Ankeny Centennial.
You know, since suffering some early pressure after the goal, Centennial's regrouped nicely and gained most of the possession.
Here goes Paoli here on this near side, going to try to survey her options. She tries to center and in! Just like that, the Hawkettes tie it. A beautiful center by Ava Paoli, and you'll take a look on the replay. We'll get a confirmation on who it was. Paoli, the one that centers, and the goal, it's, again, hard to tell from where we're at because of the sight lines. I want to say it's Abby Steinkamp, but again, we'll wait for our producer Randy to check out.
To tell.
Yeah, it's hard to see. I want to
believe
say
it was Steinkamp.
Yeah, I want to say it's Steinkamp because it looked like a 1, but it can't be a 1, so it's probably a 7.
You know, and just a really good ball in there from Paoli to drive that low across the box.
Now Ankeny trying to keep the pressure up. Centennial won the first matchup. Number, 7. So 7 it is. Abby Steinkamp is the one with the goal. There's your confirmation. Centennial trying to respond here, and boy, they got numbers. It's 3-on-2 here with Pizzetti. Pizzetti using her speed to get to the corner, tries to turn it. Van Howling knocks it out. It's going to be a corner kick for the Jags.
And that's got to be earlier when you've got two runners running opposite of you. That at least has to be played into the middle where you can either split them or they have to choose a side. If you're going to take that down the right side, you really kind of just allow the defenders to stay where they're at.
Channel Seeds corner kick. All corner kicks brought to you by Channel Seeds today. The advanced Channel Seed brand is here to help farmers like you up your game and rise to the challenge. Learn more at channel.com. This corner kick to be taken by Evie Boyle, the senior. Trying to get Centennial back on top here. Kick on the way. Caught for a moment in the middle. Postma going to go back to Boyle. Evie tries another center. There's a Centennial player down on the ground in the box. Who's it out on? Don't know, because we have a stoppage for an injured player, and I do believe it is a captain of some sort, but I cannot tell who it is.
I believe it's Postma.
Postma's standing down here, so it's not her. Well, the only captains it could be Emery Becker, it could be McKenna Gray. McKenna Gray's standing down here, I'm pretty sure. So hard to say. Again, we'll wait for full confirmation here on who it is. But the injury happened right in front of the goal.
And it just looks like an ankle injury. Never something that you want to see.
Again, we'll just wait on confirmation here on who that is for Centennial as both teams coming back down to the sideline. Step aside for a quick break. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament. All right, back here out of the quick injury timeout. That is Emery Becker, the senior captain who is being helped off the field. She's headed to St. Olaf. And she was recognized by the Des Moines Register coming in as like one of the top players to watch. So that is a big loss for Ankeny Centennial if she cannot get back in the game.
Yeah,
We'll hope the best for her. She's putting power on her leg as she's walking off. But it was her ankle that she was dealing with.
Yeah, putting weight on it, but being helped off still, and just, a tough look.
I believe it is another corner kick getting out of this for Centennial. So it is a Channel Seeds corner kick coming up. As they'll get the clock back rolling here. And here we go. Channel Seeds corner kick once again for Ankeny Centennial. Jaden Jackson tried to go in and couldn't get it, and then a foul is called on Jackson.
Yeah, I think just initiating a little bit too much contact there in order to get the shot off. Again, and then nothing egregious, and we haven't seen anything egregious through these first two matches that we've been here for. But when the ref's decision has been, for the most part, if you're using contact to create leverage for yourself, they're probably going to call it.
Goal kick here for the Hawkettes. And another whistle blown. Foul called. It'll be another free kick for Ankeny.
Yeah, just glanced off the hand of Centennial of Grace Boscovich.
Yep. So again, they try to go back down the field. Abby Steinkamp with that goal just a few moments ago. Tying this thing at 1 apiece. Winner taking on the winner of Valley and Linmar, currently happening over on field number 1. This ball sent up the near side. Here comes Pizzetti, and she gives a shove to the back of Peterson. That was about as clear as day.
Yeah, pretty clear arm extension right in front of us.
Two hands on the back. You cannot do that.
I think the only sport that's not going to draw a foul in that they play here in Iowa would be football and wrestling.
Two-hand touch at recess, I guess. I don't know. Oh, man, another foul.
I mean, that one might have been a little physical for
that
two-hand
is,
touch, depending on which school you're playing
I think
at.
we get fights in recess about that. We had a jersey pull, so that's another foul, and it's going to be another free kick here. Van Howling is going to be the one to take it. She's been pretty close here. She's got the leg to do it.
Yeah, and the wind just helping still.
Nice play by Litchfield. Knocks it high in the air. Unfortunately for Centennial, it is going to be a corner kick. Channel Seeds corner kick for Ankeny, but
I like the way that Litchfield handled that. Just with the wind driving, that's a very tough ball to catch. It's low, it's driven. It's live to fight another day as a goalkeeper there. Put it over, get yourself to the corner kick, and think you'll be okay from there.
Sophia Kephart going to be the one to take the Channel Seeds corner kick. Ankeny trying to take the lead. Kephart, a little bit of a shorter kick, awkwardly bounces in front of the goal. Who was it last touched by? It's last touched by the Jags, so another corner kick on the other side.
Yeah, and that was a well-played kick, and I think ideally you'd have an in-swinger there, one that's going to curve towards the net, and the wind will help with that.
So now they try it from the other side. I can't tell if it's Kephart again. I believe it is.
Appears to be.
Tries her luck again. Low liner this time. Drops in front of the goal, and it's another corner. We're racking them up.
Yeah, and just, if you're Ankeny, I think this is a good place to be in. Just continuing to get corners.
You got to think after a while, one's going to drop in eventually. Ankeny will try again from the corner. A little bit higher loft on this one. Bouncing around in front. Paoli tried to get there but ran out of time. And now a fight for the ball. A couple more players hit the ground. No call. Here comes another lob shot. Got past Litchfield and misses just to the left of the goal.
Yeah, and Isabel Squires did a really good job there. She didn't get the ball when she tried to go for it, but it did screen Litchfield enough. Just Ava Paoli unable to get on the backside of that.
So Centennial withstands a couple punches and gets away unscathed as we stay at 1 apiece. Look at Jaden Jackson just moving everywhere. There's a collision and a foul called on Postma. That was a really tough collision with Avery Taylor, who's going to be a little bit slower to get up. This is a physical game.
Yeah, very, very physical, and I think we expected that.
I was just about to say. I hope people don't think I'm surprised that it's physical,
very, you know, not only familiar but very big rivals.
Yes. Centennial won the first matchup earlier this season, 1-0.
Well, I guess the good news for you is that's Saturday.
Another foul, or another stop. But they're moving quick. Nope. Can't go that quick.
Yeah, Van Howling just left the boot up a little high there.
Here comes the kick by Evie Boyle.
And I'd expect this ball to float once she gets it up in the air.
Doesn't look like it. The schedule. Oh, I see.
That ball floated, and it floated to nobody. It's going to go all the way to the far corner. Abby Steinkamp goes and chases it. But taken away. Nicely done by McKenna Gray, who fires to the right of the goal and misses. Here's a chase to the line. Boyle's not going away. Here comes Taylor and Jackson gets called on a whip around against Taylor.
Another hydration break.
Here comes your water break. 1-1. Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial tied 1-1. We'll be back in a short bit. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Ten minutes left in the first half after our third and final water break of the first half comes to a close. So it's 1-1. Again, mandatory about 2 to 3 minute water breaks happening every 10 minutes here at the Girls State Tournament today because of the heat index close to 100 degrees, so out of player safety. We keep rolling here, 1-1 between Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Here's Ava Paoli with it here. She's been crucial here, had that assist earlier for her teammate Abby Steinkamp. That ball rolling toward the goal. Pizzetti comes up. Couldn't quite hop on top of it.
Well played by Hartz there. You know, that's not a ball that you're expecting to roll all the way back to yourself, but well played to be off your line and be aware.
Centennial with it here in the middle. I believe that was Evie Boyle. Kirsten Peterson trying to get it now, and now over a race to the corner. Gabrielle Berger spins, turns, fires, and Paige Hartz hops on top of it. Paige kind of caught off guard in the early portions, had to change her socks. Her socks were the same color as Ankeny Centennial socks, and you may be thinking, well, what gives? Well, it's a rule. So she had to change her socks. She was a little frustrated about it. Didn't really like that she had to do that, but thankfully somebody had maroon socks on hand. Shout out to whoever had maroon socks on hand.
I had to do that a couple of times in my career. It's never fun, especially when you're a goalie. You got to take all the goalie gear off as well.
Kirsten Peterson working on that far touch line. It's going to roll out for a far, is it going to be a corner? Or is it going to be a far corner throw in? Looks like it's going to be a far corner throw in. Taylor had the right line on the goal, but just misses to the left. Here comes a substitution. Rebecca Flick in for an IMT insurance substitution. Rebecca had that goal earlier in the day for Centennial. So Riley Litchfield kicks this one short with just over 7.5 to go here in the first half of play. Still knotted up 1 apiece between Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Ankeny looking for just their 3rd win all time against Ankeny Centennial. The Jaguars have dominated the season, or the series, since the school split.
And despite dominating the series, Ankeny with more state titles since 2010.
So they can hold that grudge. Jaden Jackson racing to the corner with Taylor right in tow. And Avery Taylor played it well and is able to get that thing to drop out, and it's a goal kick. Isabella Sullivan is in for Ankeny. So Paige Hartz will get ready to send it back the other way. Our cloud cover is gone. I'm looking off to the south. There is no more clouds left. We've run out of clouds.
Which means it is only going to get hotter here in Ames.
Girls Union stayed on schedule today, didn't change any games up. Obviously the water breaks help. What really you don't see off camera here is they have these huge industrial fans that the Iowa State Police Department brought in that are put under both tents. So both teams are under these huge also tents, but the teams on the bench have these huge fans, keep them cool, and as someone that has stood in front of them, they feel great.
They do, and just another safety thing where, you know, worse than anything is you want anyone being harmed by this heat and being in a condition that, you know, ordinarily a soccer game would put them
They
into.
would not put them out here if they didn't think it was going to be that bad. You know, they understand the heat. They understand how far these girls can go, and they are helping them out with these water breaks and giving them a chance to rest. We continue to roll on here. 5:25 to go in the first half of action. Shout out Kaylee Pizzetti. She's like the first player to ask if she needs to move when she's standing in front of us. The substitutions stand in front of us. No, we are not part of the game. You stand wherever you want.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're off to the side. We serve our role, but
We
you
can
know,
see. We're fine.
we've got a monitor.
We're fine.
See our cameras.
Appreciate the thought, though. Throw in here on the far line by Ankeny. Centennial, another one of those teams wearing the black jerseys. They're probably thinking, man, of all times, that one's going to hit the top of the crossbar, and it stays in. I think that's Avery Taylor battling over there with a Jaguar. Taylor tries to turn it. It's well covered. Does it stay in? Yes, it does. As they continue to fight down the near touchline, here it comes our way as Peterson knocks it out, stays with Centennial. Take a look at the replay here. This was a shot. I mean, just barely skims off the top of the crossbar.
It looks like it was intended to be a cross, and I think that wind might have just pushed it back towards the net.
Throw in upcoming here for Centennial. As here comes Rebecca Flick up the near side. Trying to get it to Postma. We haven't called Postma's name a lot in terms of the ball at her feet today.
No, hasn't had many touches. The Ankeny defense has done a really nice job of containing her.
Keeping her on her toes. Valley leads over Linmar at halftime over on field number 1. 3-1 is that score. I can feel the heat on my back. It has showed up on the other side of our tent.
Yeah, sun's starting to...
We're going to adjust our tarp here.
Go down just a hair, not enough to cool it off whatsoever.
Ball in front. Here's Evie Boyle trying to get this to the near side. It is picked up by Gabrielle Berger. Berger up ahead. Is it too far ahead for Rebecca Flick? Peterson hits the turf, and a foul is called. Seen a lot of fouls down there.
Yeah, a lot of fouls, and I think there's just a lot of physicality on this Centennial team as they go forward, which isn't always a bad thing.
No.
I think
it just means physical soccer.
Yeah, it just means
that's
physical
what we've
soccer,
seen today.
And sometimes you're going to get called for it, but you know, eventually you'd maybe want to not commit those fouls to try to give yourself some attacking opportunity. But it's not like you're committing them in necessarily a bad spot of the field.
That one sent out to the right and doesn't catch the wind how they want it to, and out it goes. Another goal kick. So Paige Hartz will send this one out with just over 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Again, still scored at 1 apiece between Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Peterson sends this one up the field to Isabel Squires. And this one will bounce out. We'll stay with Centennial.
You know, within 2 minutes,
we don't have a ball.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure where it's gone, but within 2 minutes, either team that can grab a goal here, it's just a massive momentum booster. We saw it in the first game. You know, Bettendorf scoring late. Any goal right into the halftime break, it just gives you so much momentum. It's so demoralizing to get scored on headed into halftime because you don't have the immediate opportunity to go out and recoup your mistakes.
Ankeny trying to push here, late in the going. Trying to center to the middle. Centennial covers well. Nicely done by Evie Boyle. And now Centennial on a run out of their own. Rebecca Flick with the speedy Kirsten Peterson right behind her. Flick and Peterson going at it. Foul is called, a tug of the jersey over there.
Yeah, just once again, just a tiny bit too physical from Flick.
1 minute, under 1 minute to go here in the first half. The boot by Kephart. Far side run for McKenna Gray. Ankeny able to get it down the field, but it's just Ava Paoli down there. And she's going to need more than that.
Probably just enough time for one more Centennial attack as they do have possession.
Nice move that time by Flick. She tries to get this ahead to Pizzetti. They get together. Going to have a throw in here. How quick can they go with 10 seconds left? Still waiting on the throw in. Now they get it to Postma. Maddie tosses it up, and that will finish the end of the first half. 1-1 between Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial. Don't go away. We got a fun 40 minutes coming up in just a little bit. Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial tied. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament presented by the Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Digital Network powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Hey, Frank. Oh, it looks like you spilled some grease.
Grills are multiplying and you need flavor that's bold.
There's nothing left for you to do
but to go to Fairway, your dream for Midwest meat. It's the one you need.
Yeah!
Fairway, it's the one you need.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
Life's buzzing with energy, from the delightfully routine, to the novel and exciting, to the truly uncharted. With all that life brings, it's easy to lose track of what powers all those moments, our health. At Mercy One, our caring doctors focus on just that, powering health, from the everyday to the extraordinary. So you're ready for what life brings next. Find care at mercyone.org/healthpowerslife.
We hope you're enjoying all the great competition you're seeing here today. At the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union, we're grateful for the incredible support that makes this event possible. None more vital or valued than the proud title sponsor, Iowa Farm Bureau. With me here today is Brent Johnson, president of the Iowa Farm Bureau, to explain why their organization invests in and supports the Girls Union.
Thanks, Aaron. The Iowa Farm Bureau has been the title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union for more than 2 decades now. The athletes competing here today represent the very best of our nation's student athletes, driven, dedicated, and committed to teamwork. At the Iowa Farm Bureau, we share those same values. Our farmers lead the nation not only in the production of corn, hogs, eggs, and ethanol, but also in the implementation of a number of innovative soil and water conservation practices which hold soil in place and reduce runoff. These shared values unite Iowa's student athletes and farm families, and our partnership with the Girls Union gives us the perfect opportunity to celebrate that commitment to excellence statewide.
Thank you, Brent. We appreciate the Iowa Farm Bureau's ongoing support and the role you play in helping Iowa's girls shine.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Whether you volunteer or hang with friends, play pickleball, read or follow trends. No matter what your retirement style, you deserve healthy eyes and a healthy smile. Some Medicare plans don't cover vision or dental. With Delta Dental, you can save on what's essential. Get coverage and take care of your health. It's peace of mind, so treat yourself. It's more affordable than you might think. Give us a call or visit this link.
Excuse me, man. You dropped this.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament here on the Girls Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy Company. Blake Walker, Thomas Campbell, along with you here this afternoon. Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial tied at 1 apiece in this Class 3A quarterfinal. It's been fun so far, goal apiece. I couldn't tell you which one's probably who has the most momentum right now because I feel like both teams are pretty even. Plus, you get a little bit of time to get a break and figure it out now.
Yeah, I think Centennial's probably had the more attacking chances, despite going against the win. I think that's down to the style that they play. They're going to create a lot of chances. Having the win in the second half is going to benefit them a lot. But I think both teams are playing strong, and that's really all you can ask for here at the state tournament is that you see a good game where both teams didn't really leave anything out there.
So far in the bracket, Waukee Northwest has taken care of business against Dubuque Hempstead 7-0. Our game earlier, Bettendorf trailed 2-0 against Waukee and then just rallied back over the course of pretty much 50 minutes, if you will. Got all the way back and won 4-2 over the Warriors. Valley leads Linn-Mar right now 3-1. And now on this field, Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial going at it. Bettendorf's got to be pretty happy, Thomas. Anytime you can break up an all-CIML semifinal, I'd say that's probably a good day's work. I was really impressed by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I think, there were definitely a lot of questions coming into this game for them, despite the fact that they had won 15 games, and that's down to the fact that they hadn't played a CIML team throughout the year. And as much as there is questions, the CIML is probably still the strongest conference in the state, but to go out there and rally back from a 2-0 deficit shows you the real level of that team and the fact that they were probably a little underseeded.
Yeah, I mean there's a chance, but you never know. It's hard for people to go out and get ranking, seeding, everything else, and you're taking what you're given with. We saw that, you talked about it, Des Moines Hoover last week. No better example that they did not let the seed deter them. They went all the way, finished it out, and picked up the school's first ever state championship in soccer. So really cool to see all that play out, and we're excited to see this second half play out. We switch sides. Ankeny Centennial will be headed to your left on the screen. Ankeny will be headed to your right. Centennial's got the wind now in this second half. See how that maybe plays into things as we get set to go here for the second half. Putting the finishing touches on round number 1 of the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament. Off tomorrow, probably for the best. There's good storm chances tomorrow. It's almost like the Girls Union knew beforehand, but no games tomorrow. That was already pre-planned way before. The schedule was literally made. So a day break for a couple teams, including these guys, and then they will be back Thursday night. At least the 3A portion. They kick off everything at noon on Thursday. And then championships on Saturday here on the Girls Union Digital Network. Ankeny trying to keep this thing moving. Now Centennial going to back things up. This one booted all the way downfield. There's the wind that they did not have in that first half.
A little bit of boost to that ball that carries it over the end line.
So they figure out quickly. Now we get set to roll again off the goal kick. There's Kirsten Peterson going to send that one up ahead. And now Abby Steinkamp. Boy, look out. She's got burners to do it. She's being hounded by Hadley Bergen. Bergen sends that one out, but it does stay with Ankeny. Steinkamp had the goal in the first for Ankeny. Rebecca Flick had the goal in the first as well for Centennial. That one just kind of off her hip. Almost accidental. Probably wasn't accidental. She meant to do everything, but the way it dropped into the goal. And then, you know, in a game like this, Thomas, Centennial had that goal that maybe was a goal, maybe wasn't a goal, back with Paige Hartz in the goal. They're going to be wondering about that one.
Yeah, I think especially if either a loss or if this one does head to extra time, I think Centennial will be definitely thinking, oh, well, we could have had a second, but we just didn't get the call.
Pizzetti fires and just misses to the left. It is picked up, and they try again with Gabrielle Berger. That seemed like a very quick trigger by Berger. She was immediately going after it, and then all of a sudden she loses it, and Ankeny just like that got away with it.
Yeah, and I think that it's just got to be lighter on the cross there, you know. You don't necessarily have to play that in the air because Hartz is already committed to your side, so if you just slide it back across, there's definitely going to be a better opportunity for your attacker to get a foot on it.
Ankeny with it here, trying to get it back upfield. Here's Peterson sending up ahead. Here's Steinkamp trying to get up and get it along with McKenna Gray out of Centennial. Grace Poskovich there in the middle for the Jags. Now back to this near side with Isabella Sullivan, who sends it up the pitch. Can Steinkamp get there? Boyle right there in company. It's going to roll out, be enough for a throw-in.
And I know the grass is long, but I'd like to see both these teams play on the ground a little bit more. You know, connect some passes rather than just sending it deep, because that just, it hasn't really been the answer for either of them yet today.
It is worth noting, when these two teams played on the 23rd back in April, the wind gusts in that game were 25 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts. That was a game that it was pretty much impossible to do anything. Things have shifted here. Obviously, a second time you play a team, obviously scores don't always tell the whole story.
No, absolutely not. And you know, we mentioned it, Ankeny is still a very good team. You know, drew with Walking Northwest, one of the few teams to do that this season.
Walking Northwest advancing their ticket to the next round earlier today with the win over Dubuque Hempstead. Good for Hempstead getting here to the state soccer tournament. Good success this season by the Mustangs. That ball going to be kicked out. Stays with Ankeny. It's amazing seeing how all these teams just trying to stay cool. Everybody on the bench trying to stay cool. They got a lot of players have these like mini fans and whatnot. You got a foul here, and actually might be. Nope.
No card, but I think just
trying to make a point, yeah. But players I see with like mini fans on the side, they got these things on their neck to cool them down. Doing all they can. Jags trying to push. Poskovich sends it up the field, but Ankeny's on top of it. Look out, it's coming our direction.
No computers or cameras or broadcasters.
I get that official. He was going to let that thing go. I don't know if he thought the wind was going to catch it or what, but we need another ball. That's the problem. We don't have a shag on this side of the field. I don't really know
Yeah,
what that's
no-
all about.
no
We have
ball girls
them.
over
We have them
here.
on the goal on the ends. We just don't have any on the side. There's a hard fall for Jaden Jackson, but I don't think there was a call. I think it's going to be a
It should
goal
be
kick.
a goal kick.
Goal
I
kick.
guess ball might have gone over the
Yes.
line. That was a well-played tackle, too.
Right.
That was ball first. That was, a pretty textbook slide tackle without the foul.
You'll fall sometimes. I mean, it's called a tackle for a reason, slide tackle. So Paige Hartz will send this one back out. Ankeny, a team that has played 4 goalies this year. Hartz has played the majority, but Sophie Kephart, Isabel Squires, Kyla Schapfeld have all played goalie. Got a whistle. Ankeny ball. Centennial ball, excuse me. No, it is Ankeny ball. Van Howling's the one coming up to get it. That's why we were waiting. Possible center opportunity that is knocked up in the air, well covered by the Jags. Now Steinkamp, a little bit of back and forth. Abby gets it booted out. Should be a throw in on the far corner. Not enough for a corner kick. Steinkamp lobs this one up, and Riley Litchfield comes up and makes the catch. How about that boot with the wind? Pizzetti chasing after it. Postma up ahead. Jaden Jackson. Is she onside? She tries to turn to the center, well covered by Ankeny.
A little surprised to see no call there, is that pass didn't really end up going there, and the contact was definitely late from the Hawkette defender.
That was Sophia Kephart, who was able to keep that one out of the goal. Paige Hartz didn't even have to go get it. They try to get it to Paoli, but Evie Boyle there to stay. Here's a kick that's on the way, and Hartz bats it down. Nice ball by McKenna Gray.
And well dealt with from Hartz. That's another one that's in the wind. It's just going to be coming fast right at you.
Despite the wind, Paige boots that thing back down the pitch, and here comes Ava Paoli. Staying a couple steps ahead, but is well covered by Boyle and company. They've been trying to get it to Postma, but Postma's been well covered all day. Kyla Schapfeld's really done a good job keeping her honest. Paoli kind of trips over her own feet. I don't think Centennial even touched her. Emily Conger, haven't called her name a ton, sends it up. Postma tries to turn, but nobody's home over there for Centennial.
Yeah, and I do like the idea there from Postma. I think if you could have a runner going there early, it's probably a good ball. That's also probably one that's boosted a little bit by the wind, that it'll sit down a little bit more without that.
Peterson on the far line, tries to get it over to her teammate Squires, but Squires gets it squandered away, and now back and forth they go over there, right in front of the crowd. One thing over there, you ain't going to get away with many fouls. You're not going to get away with many balls out past the touchline. Those parents are going to let you know.
Yes, they are.
Look at Paoli. She is not stopping. She has an extra gear. She also hasn't checked out this entire game as well. And I can tell you right now, I bet it's not comfortable with that giant cast on plus the heat.
No, it would not be.
Jaden Jackson blocks it down, then puts it in! Non-stop effort by Jaden Jackson. Wow.
Not the mistake you want to make there of your heart. A good effort from Jackson.
Jaden Jackson just never quits. Gets the block with her body, and then just puts it right in the back of the net. And Centennial leads 2-1.
Honestly, unlucky from Hartz, because you play that how you should. It's first time. It's up, it's away, and Jackson's just in the right spot.
Ankeny Centennial to the lead, and we will have a break for hydration. 2-1, Ankeny Centennial leads. You're watching the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Back here at the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament, 2-1. Ankeny leads over Ankeny Centennial. Jaden Jackson, the sophomore forward, does it all on her own and gets the Jags up 2-1. Take a look at the replay one more time. Again, just off the body, did exactly what she needed to do, Thomas.
Yeah, I think the composure to stay with it after, taking a shot like that from that close is not exactly the most fun thing. But, just in the right position. And now Ankeny's already come back from one before in this game in the first half, but a little harder now. You've already played 50 minutes, Centennial is going to be looking to kill this game off just a little bit more in the second half.
It is Jaden Jackson's 6th goal of the season, and it gives Centennial the lead. 2-1, 30 minutes to go. 2 more water breaks left on the agenda, as this is about the high heat of the day. Right now, between 3 and 4, 5 o'clock, it's about as hot as it gets. Time to dig deep.
Absolutely.
But I will say the wind is arguably at the most it's been today.
Yeah, and I do think that still benefits Centennial. It's still going to be hot, but having that wind
at your back,
it's going to help you. You don't become victim to that ball over the top as much.
And you mentioned it in the last game, and I really somehow didn't even think about it. Ankeny's got to run into the wind. I mean, that's not fun. I mean, you're not running uphill, but to run into the wind, it's tougher. Hawkettes trying to respond here. Peterson, kind of a low liner. Evie Boyle able to knock that one out momentarily. They try another low liner. Popped up in the middle and cleared away. A lot of green grass in front here. I believe this is Poskovich, and it is. She's upfield to Rebecca Flick, who's also got a lot of green grass in front. Flick got around one, lines up, and just misses to the right. You surprised she took it on her own?
A little. I do think it might have been more of a cross than a shot. I think she would have liked to have someone running back post as well. But I don't think Ankeny Centennial is going to throw as many players forward as they have been, just to limit the counter-attacking opportunities of Ankeny, knowing that they do have a 2-1 lead, and now there is only 30 minutes left to play.
We got a shoe tie right in front of us. Coach helping their team girl get the time put out.
Can we make sure the ball stops on goal kicks? That kicker rolled that ball out and they just played it. Okay. And it's the second time I think I've seen. Okay.
Centennial trying to keep things moving. Coach Allen having a chat with the official, saying wanting the ball to stop on goal kicks. So when a goal kick happens, don't just
ball has to be fully stopped. You know, that slight roll does give it just a little bit more boost.
Do have a free kick all the way over on that other side for Ankeny, who don't need to hit the panic button yet. There's still plenty of time left in this game. 27:35 officially left to go. The Hawkettes responded well after the first Ankeny Centennial goal. Paoli takes her shot, lines it up and right into the lap of Riley Litchfield. Nicely done by Litchfield. She's just a junior. She is going to be a really good goalkeeper next year. And while this team does have a couple really good seniors, it's still a pretty young Centennial team.
Yeah, they will no doubt be back here in Ames next summer.
Strong battle by Zeman, who is continuing to work on it over on the far side. Postma momentarily had it. Going to roll back out. It will stay with the Jags. Throw in by Emily Conger over there. The people with the right idea are the people that brought like a tent over there. That's the best. That's the best thing to do.
Absolutely, and just
there's
that's why we've got one.
Ankeny's been here 9 consecutive years. These parents know what to do when at these state tournaments. This is not their first rodeo. Update over on field number 1. Valley currently leads Linn-Mar now 4-1. The Tigers closing in on yet another state semifinal appearance, led by one of the best head coaches the state of Iowa has ever seen. I'd go as far to say the best head coach the state of Iowa has ever seen. Not too bad of a coach here in Chris Allen, who a win today would put him at 300. That's going to be a yellow card on Madeline Postma as Pearson hits the ground.
Yeah, and it just has not been Postma's day today. Can definitely see some of the frustration there in that foul.
So she'll check on out, and in goes Gabrielle Berger. Here's a look at the top corner of your screen, top half. Oh, my goodness. She came flying in there.
Pretty physical play.
So a yellow card has been assessed, and then she can come back in whenever she wants. So I believe they'll probably give her a short rest, but she'll be back in pretty quickly. No time limit on yellow cards this year in Iowa girls soccer. Peterson's moving, though, after getting down on the ground. Steinkamp kind of boots one up, but Paoli couldn't get there in time. Emily Conger trying to help the offense move forward. Piper Zeman, long strides for the senior. Trying to move it downfield. And it's going to roll out, will be Centennial ball on the throw-in. Jags trying to extend the lead here. 25 minutes to go. That one's just going to roll very lightly off to the right side. And out it goes. Substitutions checking in. Kaylee Pizzetti and Jaden Jackson both going to come into the ball game. And it looks like Presley Sullivan also about to check in for Ankeny momentarily. Goal kick for Paige Hartz. Paoli with it here at the midfield. Now pushes her way up. Centennial starting to move a little bit. Hart's going to come up and make that play, though. Right now, it just seems like Thomas Ankeny looking for the quality shot on goal attempts. Just haven't had a couple.
No, they haven't. I think part of that is Centennial has just kept them down in their own half. Really, this entire second half, they haven't been able to get forward, but especially in these last 5 minutes.
Another short throw in. Centennial trying to go to Jaden Jackson. Jaden couldn't get there in time. And now here's Conger. Got it bounced up in the air. Peterson sends that to the far side. Not enough for a possible goal kick. Ankeny boots that one back out. Closing in on our next water break here in about 3 minutes. It's kind of been weird. It is kind of, I won't say it put the half in 3 or 4 different spots, but you're kind of playing the game in sections. You know, you're like, all right, here's this 10-minute increment. Here's our next 10-minute increment. And we just kind of go from there.
Yeah, it definitely has done that. And I think anyone who's played soccer before, you kind of know the grind of you don't really get a break. You don't get to talk to your coaches except for before the game and at halftime and what they yell at you on the sidelines. And having these water breaks, you know, it really is like having 3 timeouts a half in football. You get a chance to not only refuel, but it is more than anything for these coaches can be a strategy meeting.
And Forever comes away with the win today. They also play later in the day on Thursday. It'll feel like light work. This is realistically the hardest day this week. The hottest day as well.
Yeah, I could see some rain and storms on Thursday, but nowhere near as hot as what today has been.
McKenna Gray, another really good shot that just falls short of the goal. She's been flirting with a couple here. Ankeny just trying to get an offensive possession rolling. Is this the one here with Isabel Squires? No, Centennial jumps in front of it. Van Howling gives it a good boot back up the way. Steinkamp, who had the goal earlier for Ankeny, with it, but she's doubled. Steinkamp tries to turn. Somehow keeps it in. Centennial avoids the corner kick. 4 and out. And they get away with it.
Yeah, and I think Ankeny's going to be happy that they're getting the ball forward, but at some point that's got to turn into shots when you're trailing by 1 late in the game.
Avery Taylor pressuring Berger.
Wind feels like it's picking up.
Wind also feels like it's doing great things. It's cool.
Definitely very cool.
Again, and that just benefits Ankeny Centennial. You're going to see this ball just stop. Yeah, and it does. It just hangs in the air. As Steinkamp just doing all she can to go after it. We're going to have a foul called, and it's going to go back Ankeny Centennial's way.
And I think we're at a water break, but we are really seeing that hour mark. This is where the legs got heavy in the first game, and we're starting to see that here.
Going to have to dig deep. 20-25 to go. Hydration break. We'll be back. You're watching Iowa Girls State Soccer.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care to Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
$20.25 was the year last year. Now it is the time left to go here in half number 2 between Ankeny Centennial and Ankeny. The Jaguars lead 2-1, but still a long way to go. We're only halfway through the second half here at the Lead Recreational Complex on the campus of Iowa State University here in Ames, Iowa. That ball knocked out, going to stay with Centennial. They'll have a deep throw in the corner.
And I think in this 10-minute stretch here, I wouldn't be surprised to see Centennial really push to get a goal, to get that insurance goal, knowing that they do have another break and that maybe after that you can start to sit back.
Ball being fought for over in the corner. Someone looking for an opportunity. That's McKenna Gray over there. Conger got around a couple. That one misses just off of Hartz's hands, but it is cleared out by Peterson. Here comes another attempt that goes high, hits the top of the crossbar. Here comes another chance that's then knocked out by Van Howling, but it is a corner kick. Things got very tight there.
Yeah, Centennial creating some really good chances. Van Howling, just a really good job there to find the ball and knock it away.
Boy, Emery Becker almost came soaring in to make the play, and then it was Piper Zeman who then almost knocked it in again. Ankeny's got to be thanking their lucky stars for at least a moment. Now here comes the corner kick, presented by Channel Seeds for Ankeny Centennial. Kick on the way, headed down in front, and just missing to the left. I think Emily Conger was the one who was on it, but I don't know if she knew where she was.
Yeah, dangerous there from Ankeny, letting that ball hit the ground, not being able to clear it.
So Ankeny does their job, now has to try to get rolling back on offense in a half where they just have maybe had less than 3 shot on goal attempts, quality shot on goal attempts. Trying to buckle down here and put together a rally. But boy, Centennial's forwards are just not making it easy as a foul is called on Ankeny.
Yeah, not a ton of contact there, but a very, very dangerous position for Centennial.
Yes, we've said that all day long with the wind at our back. Here's the foul. I don't know. Hard to see from our spot. And when I say hard to see, the glare on our monitor is hard to see. But we do have a free kick. Probably going to be taken by Evie Boyle here. McKenna Gray is also back. Looks like it's going to be Boyle. But just over 17 and a half to go here in this one. Centennial trying to extend the lead to 3-1. Here's Boyle. It's a low liner. And caught. I think that was maybe intended to go to Emery Becker.
Yeah, I don't think that was necessarily a shot. I think she was trying to slide that one through.
Centennial not done, though. Here comes Pizzetti. Pizzetti fires low and in! the freshman. That was Rebecca Flick, actually. Rebecca Flick, number 18, the one who scores, a freshman. And it's 3-1.
And Hartz is going to be kicking herself after that one. Just below the hands. Probably could have, should have gotten down for that, but massive insurance goal for Centennial.
So it's Rebecca Flick with her second goal of the day. Gives the Jags a 3-1 advantage. The 18 looked like a 13. It's a freshman either way. And Ankeny Centennial extends the lead.
Yeah, now we see Ankeny going to a 3 in the back formation, just trying to send more players forward.
It's go time now for the Hawkettes, as that time's going to move by really quickly for them. Centennial going to try to keep the pressure up. Far side ball here for Piper Zeman. Zeman waiting and moving. Centennial with it here. I mean, you still put 3 back, but then that could leave you susceptible here defensively. Here comes another chance at a center that is cleared out by Avery Taylor. Presley Sullivan also in there for Ankeny, trying to kick that one out.
Yeah, 3 in the back definitely leaves you susceptible, especially out wide on the flanks, because you kind of lose the ability to have a right or left back. You go to more of a 3 center back look. But in Ankeny's situation, you kind of have to, because you have to throw players forward at this point.
And it's not like hockey where you can just bring a guy out of the goal. So throw in here for the Jags. Ankeny skies this one up ahead. Steinkamp lets that one bounce. Piper Zeman going to check out of the ball game, and in goes Grace Poskovich. And for both these two teams, it's a different mentality, because being out here in the heat, if you're Ankeny, it's 20 more minutes of, my goodness, like we just got to keep pushing. This heat's against us. For Centennial, it's like, all right, we're in the heat, but we have a 3-1 lead. But at the same time, yeah, but we have a 3-1 lead. We can't get too.
Yeah. For Ankeny Centennial, the mentality right now is see it out. You cannot get lackadaisical. I think, you know, if you didn't watch the Des Moines Christian match yesterday.
Where everything happened in the span of 10 minutes. St. Albert scored 4 unanswered in 10 minutes, in the final 10 minutes.
You know, that's the kind of thing that you just can't do when you've got a lead. And I think the good thing for Centennial is that they are still pushing. Despite having that insurance goal, they have easily still been the more attacking team of the two.
Anything can happen here at the Girls State Soccer Tournament. We have seen that time and time again. Centennial just trying to close this one out, but still have 14 minutes to go, and we still have one more break to go. So this thing far from over. Poskovich knocks it ahead. Here's a shot on goal, knocked down by Hartz. This one bounced ahead, now set down in place by Centennial. Have we seen Postma since the yellow card?
I don't think we have, and I'm not sure we will unless they really need her out there. I think you're at the point now where you're Centennial. You have to assume you're moving on. You're going to play a tough Valley team in the semifinal. The risk of getting a second yellow and getting sent off and suspended for the next game is probably just a little too big when you have a 2-goal lead with this little time left.
Just hasn't been her day, but her teammates have definitely picked her up. No doubt about that. Ball being fought for here on the near side. Again, this is things that Ankeny Centennial will just gladly take. Here's a shot that'll just fire out to the right. Almost a header worked for Gabrielle Berger. Another substitution coming in for Ankeny. Isabel Squires in for an IMT insurance substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free with IMT at imtins.com. Van Houweling with it here. Down to the near side. Nice little boot by Boyle. And out it goes again.
Yeah, foul there, just a little late to that was Sophia Kephart.
And she's been working hard defensively, but yeah, that time just a little too overzealous. Weird spot here. It should be a free kick. So not a bad spot for a free kick. She's got the wind to help her.
No, and I think this is one you lift towards the back post and have someone run onto.
This is how the Centennial scored that first goal of the day. Boyle sends it on the way, and it goes in! Holy cow, Evie Boyle at the perfect location. Puts it in the back of the net.
Yeah, and really tough there for not only Paige Hartz, but the entire Ankeny defense. That one, pretty much sent right up into the sunshine.
I don't know what else he could have done.
Really easy to lose that.
That is her third goal of the season. It is 4-1 Ankeny Centennial. Really pulling away here late against rival Ankeny. That was very impressive by Evie Boyle.
Absolutely, and you almost certainly through to the semifinal now.
And Centennial's not giving up. Still have it here. Rebecca Flick, she's just kind of waiting. Trying to decide where she wants to go. She'll send this thing to the other side. Headed out by Gabrielle Berger. And now picked up by Hartz. One in the early portions, but since then, since halftime, it's all Centennial. Here in this one, the Jaguars trying to send themselves to the state semifinals and grab Coach Allen's 300th win in his coaching career. 188 wins here at Ankeny Centennial, but he'd be 300 overall. We're going to take one more water break. When we come back, put the finishing touches on this one. 4-1 Centennial leads.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Yeah, it's a trip when you hit the road. And when you know when you've arrived. It's a trip when you get everything you want. The burger and the fries, the creek and the crick, the city and the countryside. It's a trip when you're where you're meant to be. In this moment, in this bathroom mirror, looking like $1 million. And yeah, it's a trip when it goes by fast. Des Moines. It's a trip. Make it yours.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with unleaded 88.
Welcome back to the Iowa Girls State Soccer Tournament. 4-1. Ankeny Centennial leads over Ankeny here in the final 10 minutes to go. Water breaks are done for the day. Ankeny throwing in here. At this point, down 3 goals. You're just going to try to get what you can. And if you're Ankeny Centennial, try to avoid yellow cards. Just get through these last 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the biggest thing that you can do is avoiding yellow cards, injuries. You know, you don't want to be missing a player for the eventual showdown with Valley.
Valley is just wrapping up the victory over Linmar. I believe 4-1 was the final score. 4-1 was, in fact, the final score. Jaden Jackson fires that one and misses to the left. And you're going to have a goal kick for Van Howling. There's Conger working her way down the near side. Ankeny staying on top of it. Nope, Conger got it back. And now in the center to Kyla Schapfeld. Shot on goal just missing to the left. I think Emery Becker was on the other side of that. Jackson holding here. Ankeny looks tired, Thomas, I can tell you that.
Yeah, definitely some heavy legs, and I think going down 3 is incredibly demotivating. And I think, you know, the heat and the tired legs and down 3, the task really feels monumental at this point.
A lot of hands on hips, everything else. Both teams have subbed quite often, but just trying to keep up with the heat and the conditions. Centennial just not going away. Here is Pizzetti, who's going to fire and just miss outside to the right. Again, those are respectable just because they're going to waste time, and that's exactly what Centennial wants to do here. Let the timer go by in the final 8 minutes.
Yeah, and I think if you're Centennial, you know, as much as Ankeny will be pressing, I'm not sure you're too worried at this point being ahead by 3.
Jaden Jackson again tries to center. There's the goal for Pizzetti. A beautiful center by Jackson. And the freshman Kaylee Pizzetti puts it in. I wasn't wrong. I was just early.
Yeah, well, the task was monumental. It's now just about impossible. 4 goals in 8 minutes, and that clock's just going to keep running during stoppages after this goal.
Boy, what a match here by Centennial. 5-1 is now the score. The most goals that Centennial or Ankeny gave up in a game this season was 2. They've now doubled that to 5. Just a tough day for the Hawkettes, but boy, Centennial has come to play against their crosstown rival in what would become their 11th win over the Hawkettes in the rivalry's history. Seven and a half to go in this one. I can tell you what, 5-1, Coach Allen ain't quitting coaching. He's still yelling, barking orders.
Yeah, and it is still see the match out. You don't want to let Ankeny score and give them really any hope.
Try to stay on top of things. Pride yourself with the game that you've played defensively. Steinkamp slowly working her way upfield. That one's dropped in front by Boyle and now sent back up the way. Popped up that time by Emery Becker. Ankeny definitely a couple really good seniors on this team. Going to have to say goodbye to Ava Paoli. Heck of a season, fighting through the injury on her hand, leading this team all the way. Kyla Schapfeld, Allison Hawkins, Sydney Van Howling, Avery Taylor. But other than that, a lot of sophomores, still a lot of young players that can step up.
You know, both teams will be here for quite a while. You know, and neither one.
They don't rebuild, they just reload.
Yeah, neither one of them is going to go away.
9th consecutive state tournament appearance for Ankeny coming into today. looking to just continue that and keep it rolling. 4-time state champions, Ankeny Centennial, 3-time state champions. That's 7 combined since 2010 for both these two programs. So 7 titles in, as of right now, 15 years. Another almost goal coming up. Greta Den Hartog almost getting up there as she's getting a couple minutes here late in the going.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Centennial bring out some more of the bench.
That wind is really picking up. We got an umbrella going upside down over there. It's too little too late for the wind. I tell you what, could have shown up earlier, but what are you going to do? Free kick here for Centennial with just over 5 minutes to go. There's a rare cloud. It's like putting sunglasses on. Winner of this game will take on Valley, who just took care of business against Linmar. Valley, a very, very tough out. That is going to be a great game between the Jags and the Tigers. 2 very good head coaches. And then Waukee Northwest will take on Bettendorf after this morning's adventure. Bettendorf taking down Waukee.
Bettendorf, the lone team not in the CIML.
Avoids the CIML closeout of the semifinals, and I'm sure they're pretty happy about that. Everything kicks back off Thursday at noon. Class 1A gets rolling. Class 2A and then Class 3A to follow. Busy day on Thursday, then your championships happen here on the Girls Union Digital Network on Saturday. This one kicked up ahead to Grace Poskovich. Poskovich fires to the middle. Van Howling's there to recover. And sent back out. Foul that time on Kaylin Jackson. So definitely digging deep into their bench here. Centennial getting fresh legs out.
As the clock just continues to tick down on this game.
Peterson and Van Howling go back and forth here on the defending line. Riley Litchfield, I look at Litchfield standing back there. I don't think she's touched the ball in probably 15, 20 minutes.
No, it has been quite a while. And, since that first water break, Centennial has just controlled the entire second half.
Gonna have a throw in here on the near side for Ankeny. Trying to maybe get one more goal here before they say goodbye to the senior class. A couple headers in the middle. There's a shot attempt by Taylor, not bad, but it misses out to the right. A couple substitutions coming in. They'll stop the clock. Centennial will move to 16-2 on the season. 16-2-1. Ankeny will end the year at 11-6-1. It will be Ankeny's 3rd straight victory over the Hawkettes. Ankeny won in 2024 in the regular season 1-0. They tied in 2023. There's a run ahead for Sailor Horsley. Paige Hartz drops that one in front.
I think Hart's starting to show just a little bit of exhaustion late in this game. It has been under a lot of pressure in this second half.
Pretty crazy, but of all the matchups between these two teams, this is the most a single team has scored in a matchup against each other in the rivalry's history, and it comes here at the state tournament.
Yeah, it ties the largest margin of victory.
Yeah. 4 has been scored twice, both by Ankeny Centennial in 2021 and 2016. 5 has never been scored before, so Centennial kind of a historic day in this rivalry here at the Girls State Soccer Tournament. And boy, they earned it. Heck of a job today by the Jags, and a tough end to the season for Ankeny, but the Hawkettes most definitely going to be back and try to go for their 10th consecutive state tournament appearance next year. Taylor working it up the middle. Tries to find it to Paoli. Avery to the near side to Steinkamp. Abby working her way back to the middle. Really good passing here. And a foul is called. Steinkamp got tripped up.
Looks
it
like
is
just outside
yeah,
the box.
just outside the box. So a free kick upcoming. And this could be the last chance, seems like, for the game.
Yeah, it's going to be too little too late no matter what.
So here we go. A kick opportunity for Sydney Van Howling off the free kick. Litchfield bats it away. And it will go to the corner. Nope, it will not. It was last touched by Ankeny. Why not cherry on top for Riley Litchfield?
Very well saved there from Litchfield. That one, you know, it's angling away.
Nicely done. This ball is going to roll ahead. And out he goes. It will stay with Ankeny as they're going to let the clock roll out. And that will do it. Ankeny Centennial is off to the Class 3A semifinals, and that is 300 career wins for Chris Allen in his coaching career here in the state for high school soccer. What a career for him. No better way to celebrate 300 than right here at the state tournament.
Yeah, and no better team to beat if you're Centennial for his 300th win than your rival.
So Ankeny Centennial picks up the win 5-1. We will get ready to send it over to our PA announcer for closing ceremonies here and our trophy presentation. Let's do that right now.
Awards from the IGHSAU is Executive Director Aaron Ehrlich, along with Soccer Administrator Tanya Lowe. Congratulations to Head Coach Gavin Mason and the Hawkins from Ankeny on an outstanding 2026 soccer season. Centennial fans, your team advances to the Class 3A semifinals. We'll face Westwood Valley Thursday at 5:15 right here on Field 2. Now we'd like to recognize today's quick star of the game, Jaden Jackson. Jaden's strong performance as a cheerleader, advancing her team.
That will do it for us here as Ankeny Centennial defeats rival Ankeny here in the Class 3A quarterfinals. 5-1 is your final score. For everyone on our phenomenal production crew who has stood the heat today, we thank them so much. For our producer, Randy Nielsen, he's Thomas Campbell. I'm Blake Walker saying so long from the 2026 Iowa Girls State Soccer.